Hey guys, this is Odie. I was out in my garden today, so I thought I would just share some of the things that worked, some of the things that didn't, new things I've did, and maybe things I'll change. So to start with, I don't know if you can see it very well, but this right here, these are Armenian cucumbers. There's a little small one. I picked the first one already. Look at that long one. Sorry about the lighting. I've never planted Armenian cucumbers, my first time. I planted them the same time that I planted, there's one right there, curling, my pickling cucumbers, and it took them a while to really take off. The leaves seem smaller, more of a lighter green versus there's a regular pickling cucumber. This is an Armenian cucumber. So the first one probably got about 12-13 inches long. I think that's the length of them that you should let them get, but it was delicious. So that's a win. That's a win. The next thing I learned is that indeterminates, I'd never really paid attention to the difference in determinate and indeterminate, but I have learned this year. I've had a horrible gardening year. That the indeterminates are not going to be what you want to plant if you want a bunch of tomatoes at one time, or if you want to like put up sauces or things like that. This is an indeterminate beefsteak. So far I've gotten 2 huge beefsteaks. This is not really a huge one here, and I've got one growing there, and these are the other 2 that it's put on. I don't even see any more that it's put on, so I'm only going to get maybe 4 or 5 off of this. They're slower to grow, and the good thing about them is they vine. So you can see they start here and they're able to vine, and you can manipulate them. Here's part of it here through the trellis. So this is indeterminate, and those were the only ones that lived. My determinates, they've all died. The other indeterminate I had was this little cherry tomato one. And the same thing is you get little clusters of them, but you don't get a bunch at one time. So they're just good to come out and grab some for a salad or whatever. I did try to do some sugar baby watermelons, and this has not been very successful. I do have one there. I put it up off the ground because those little vine borers were getting all over it. I thought that might help. So far it has. So that hasn't really been great. These are my beans, and I have cave beans and I have pole beans. They did really well. They grew a lot. I've got about 3 servings, I would say. Not servings, because it served 2 of us. So I would say about 6 servings of beans off these. But other than that, I just got a lot of vines. There's a little small bean. It puts on a lot of blooms, but I'm not getting beans anymore. It's beautiful, it's shaded, but the beans are just few and far between now after the original. Okay, then over here, my first time to do sweet potatoes. Those are my first set of sweet potato slips that I planted. They're doing great. I hope the sweet potatoes grow as well as the vines do. These are cabbages that I put out during early spring, and the insects have devoured them. But I leave them there because I think, well, maybe the insects will eat those and nothing else. These are my cayenne pepper. I put 3 of them in the ground. They're doing pretty good. You can see some red ones I need to pick. I just pick them and dry them and then grind up cayenne. So that's been a good place for that. Over here are my tomatillas. The tomatillas, you need lots of room. I would kind of change where I put these, as far as I kind of crowded myself out. See, I don't have a lot of room to walk, because they do, they just go everywhere. You can come out and vine them through your arches, but you've got to stay on top of them. Now, the tomatillas have put on pretty good, but the problem I have with tomatillas are, let me find one, are those little, I guess they're vine borers. You can see they've killed this one. See how this one's, they're killing it. There's one right there. See it? See that little monster? Those things get all over these, and I just come out and thump them. I don't know what to do with them. And they'll put little babies on and all that business. There's some cucumbers that have vine through here. But these tomatillas, this is what you can make salsa verde with. And I've made some avocado salsa with these. I did an avocado and some tomatillos. Those worked. I planted squash originally, but the vine borers killed them all, so I replanted, and I have these two. But I think I have to come out here and I'm going to have to pollinate them myself, because even though I see pollinators everywhere, I don't think they're getting pollinated. I've already had 2 come on and die. There's one right there, so I'm hoping it makes it. This right here, I'm going to be very honest. I do not remember what I planted here. But since it's vining, I put this old chair here to let it vine. These are my banana peppers. I made a mistake. I planted corn behind them. They got too much. They were shaded too much. I've gotten 1 or 2 banana peppers here and there, but I do see that they're starting to put on more. So that was a dumb thing to do. This is one of my tomato plants that I had to replant. These are determinate. They were doing really good. They grew really great. They just flowered out, and then every flower died. Every flower. And I don't know. I had some in another place, and I tried them in here. They grew wonderfully, put on beautiful flowers. Never made anything. These are butternut squash I'm trying in the buckets. That's more my sweet potato slips I'm very proud of. This is a leftover lettuce or some type of green that I had. This whole bed was in greens. Those are more butternut squash. I've just tried to put them in different places to see how they grow. I had planted spinach here, but my chickens got in here and ate them all. There's one spinach plant. That's a deal. It seems to be doing good here. This is my only bell pepper that has done anything. It's a red bell pepper, so I'm letting that little buddy stay there. It's the only pepper it's put on. It puts on little flowers, but it will not put on any more fruit. And then I had some other bell pepper plants that weren't doing well, and I transplanted them, but this is all they've done. And so now they're getting shaded out. This is stevia, doing pretty good. All this is stevia. These are my carrots. I've planted carrots before. I've not planted them in this. We'll see how it goes. Here's some of that spinach. This is a different type of spinach, supposed to be heat tolerant. This is where I originally had tomato plants. They all died. I think it's the soil. I really do. So these are butternut squash. That's a couple of sweet potato slips that just aren't doing anything. And then this is my okra. These are hybrid okras. I think they're called, I'm gonna get to line, buddy. I don't know, but they're a hybrid. They're supposed to, I guess this is as big as they get. So I'm waiting on them to bloom. What I did learn is that these huge, gigantic grasshoppers like to eat the leaves. And I didn't know that, but I learn every day gardening. This is all this cardboard. I expanded my little garden area out to here. This used to be a compost pile, but I took all the, and that right there is a pitiful jumbo jalapeno plant that has been planted all over this garden, and it will not grow. I've transplanted 3 times. So I've not had a very good year thus far. I think I planted too early on my peppers. It was still cool out. And maybe I had a hard time with cucumbers getting going. You can see my cabbages did terrible, so I'm gonna replant. Just a lot of disappointments this season, but I did learn a lot, and I am happy with my trellis. This was new cattle panel trellis. I think I might do 1 more of these, but I'll probably, I don't know what I'll do. My beans have disappointed me because I love green beans. I did plant some zinnias. They did well. And this was the lone survivor of the only eggplant that made it. But you see the bugs are just eating it up. And I did what you don't want me to do, 7 dust. I had to do something. They were just eating it left and right. So I put it on the ground. I have bees in here. I have butterflies. This over here is something different I'm trying this year. This is new. I threw some peas down in the center, but those peas had been left out in a bag in a toolbox, and I didn't know if they were going to be viable. Either something got in there and ate all my seeds, or that's the only ones that come up. I've also planted popcorns in there. Nothing comes up. So I'm just really struggling. It's been a hard year. Anyway, I wanted to share with you that Sometimes you have good years, sometimes you have bad. I've changed up the way I'm gardening and I'm having to relearn. I think I do have issues with soil. So be careful when you buy organic soils from the box stores or any stores. I think that's what's killed all of my tomato plants. Those that I replanted right there, they're in the same soil that was over in that raised bed. So I think maybe that's my issue. I don't know. All right, friends, I hope you're having a great day. It's a beautiful day here, July the 20th, maybe. It's a nice day outside, a little cooler. Hope you've had a great garden season, much better than mine. I really haven't got to put up anything, but that's okay. We've been eating off of it here and there. I'm just going to keep planting stuff for the fall. I encourage you to plant fall plants. Don't give up. Just keep planting, keep planting, keep planting. Something will work. Have a great day and enjoy what's left of July.